A credit card and a mortgage are the same thing. I know that sounds wrong. You've spent your whole life being told they're opposites. One builds wealth. One destroys it. Sort your debt into the right buckets, stay disciplined, and you'll be fine. That advice isn't just oversimplified. It's the reason millions of Americans who genuinely believe they're being responsible are quietly getting poorer every single month. Whether a debt makes you richer or poorer has almost nothing to do with what you borrowed it for. It comes down to one number. A number most borrowers have never calculated. Not once. For even a single loan they carry. By the end of this video, you'll know that number. And once you see it, every debt decision you ever make will look completely different. Let me show you two people. Meet Marcus. Marcus is responsible. Pays every bill on time. Has a budget. Checks his bank account every Sunday morning with a cup of coffee, like a man in control of his life. By every conventional definition, Marcus is good with money. Marcus also carries $9,000 on his credit card. Has for about 2 years. He pays $220 a month, always on time. And he thinks of it the way most Americans do. A background expense. A manageable fact of adult life. Like a car payment, just quieter. He has never once sat down and calculated what that balance is actually costing him. Now meet David. David earns the same salary as Marcus. Same city. Same cost of living. David does not carry a credit card balance. Not because he's wealthy, he isn't. But 3 years ago, someone showed him one number that permanently changed how he thought about debt. Same paycheck. Completely different financial trajectory. That number is what this video is about. Here's what Marcus has never calculated. His credit card charges 22.8% interest. That's close to the current national average for Americans who carry a balance month to month. On $9,000, that is $2,052 a year in interest alone. Not paying down the debt, just renting it. That's $171 every single month, leaving his account and accomplishing absolutely nothing. Money that disappears before it touches a single dollar of what he actually owes. And because Marcus pays only $220 a month, most of which is interest, the debt is extraordinarily patient. At that pace, it will take him 68 months to clear that $9,000 balance. Nearly 6 years. And along the way, he will hand the bank $5,900 in pure interest. He will pay almost $15,000 to retire a $9,000 debt. Marcus, the one who never misses a payment, who checks his account every Sunday, is running a small, permanent, silent donation to his bank. And he has never once felt it as a crisis, because it never arrives as one. It just quietly drains, month after month, in amounts too small to feel catastrophic and too large to ignore if you ever stop and do the math. Now look at David. David has a mortgage. 30-year fixed at 6.8%. By the good debt, bad debt sorting that dominates personal finance advice, David is fine. Mortgage is good debt. End of story. But David's defining habit isn't his mortgage. It's what he refuses to do. He refuses to carry a balance on anything that costs more than his mortgage rate. No revolving card balance. No finance furniture. No buy now, pay later stack quietly compounding in the background. When money is left over at the end of the month, it doesn't drift in a checking account. It doesn't feed a credit card minimum payment, because he doesn't have one. It goes to work. David invests $500 a month. The same rough amount Marcus is sending to his credit card. At a 10% annual return, the long-run historical figure for the U.S. stock market, $500 a month becomes around $103,000 in 10 years. $382,000 in 20. Just over $1.1 million in 30. I'll be honest about that number, the way this channel always is. That's nominal before inflation. In today's real purchasing power, it lands closer to $620,000. Still, from $500 a month. From nothing more exotic than refusing to stand on the wrong side of a line. Look at what actually separates these two men. It is not income. They earn the same. It is not discipline. Marcus is disciplined. He pays every bill on time without fail. It is not even the presence of debt. Both of them have debt. The only difference is which side of one line each of them is standing on. Marcus' money is committed at 22.8%, working against him. David's money is committed at 10%, working for him, while his cheapest debt sits below that rate. Same paycheck. Same instrument. One number pointed in opposite directions. So what is that line? Where exactly does it sit? This is the number nobody calculates. And it's worth getting precisely right. The line is the point where your debt's interest rate crosses the return you could earn on that same money somewhere else. Below the line, debt is cheaper than what your money can earn. Keep the debt. Put the money to work. Above the line, debt costs more than your money can earn. Kill the debt first. Every single debt decision in personal finance is just locating this one crossover. Loan by loan. So where is it practically? You need a benchmark for what your money earns elsewhere. There are two honest versions. The safe version, cash in a high-yield savings account or treasury bills, earns around 4 to 5% right now with no risk whatsoever. The ambitious version, money in the stock market, has returned about 10% per year over the long run. But that return is neither guaranteed nor smooth. It punishes people who need the money back at the wrong moment. Put those together and a practical line appears. Paying off a debt isn't just a return. It's a guaranteed tax-free return. When you invest and earn 10%, the government takes a cut when you realize those gains. When you erase a 22% debt, you keep the entire 22%. No tax touches it, because you're not earning income. You're removing an expense. That's why high-rate debt is worse than it looks, and why killing it is better than it looks. Which brings us to the single most important insight in this entire video. Go back to Marcus' card at 22.8%. When Marcus pays it off, he is not avoiding a bill. He is earning a return. A guaranteed, tax-free, zero-risk 22.8% return. Now hold that against every investment he's ever been pitched. The stock market's celebrated long-run return is about 10%, and it is risky and it is taxed. The best savings account on earth pays him around 4 to 5%. There is no legal investment available to an ordinary American that reliably pays 22.8% tax-free at zero risk. And it was sitting in Marcus' wallet the whole time, disguised as a minimum payment. Paying off that card beats the expected return of the stock market by more than 12 percentage points a year. Guaranteed. The highest returning, lowest risk investment most people will ever have access to is the high-interest debt they already owe. This is where the good debt, bad debt framework falls apart completely. It would have told Marcus exactly what it tells everyone. Credit card bad. Pay it down eventually, without ever revealing that paying it down was the single best investment of his life. And it's also, strangely, where the very rich walk into the story. You've probably heard that wealthy people use debt to get richer. That they borrow instead of selling, that there's some trick the rest of us are locked out of. There is a version of this that is pure fantasy, sold by people who want to put you in a $2,000 course. And there is a version that is completely real. The real version has a name. Buy, borrow, die. The wealthy buy assets that appreciate, stocks, real estate, businesses. They hold them so gains are never realized and never taxed. And when they need cash, they don't sell. They borrow against the asset at a low rate, and let it keep compounding. Borrow cheap. Earn more. That's the left side of the line, used at scale. The mechanism isn't exotic. It's the same rule David is running on his mortgage, just with more zeros and more risk attached. So here is the answer to the question we opened with. Debt and wealth are not opposites. They're the same lever. Point it below the line, borrow cheap, earn more, and debt builds wealth. Whether you're David with a mortgage or a billionaire with a stock portfolio. Point it above the line, borrow expensive, earn nothing, and the identical instrument drains you. Whether you're Marcus with a credit card balance or anyone who never stopped to check the number. The wealthy were not handed a different tool. They just learned which way to point it. Hey Race, what to do right now? Pull up every debt you carry. Write the interest rate next to each one. Then run each against the line. Credit card at 22% or higher, far above the line. The highest return payoff available to you. Attack it first. Treat it like the investment it actually is. Buy now, pay later balance near 30%. An emergency. Treat it like one. Personal loan around 12%, above the line. Next in the queue. Car loan near 9%, above the line, though the gap is smaller. Student loan around 6.5%, gray zone. Keep paying on schedule and invest alongside it. Fixed mortgage at 6.5 to 7%, gray zone. An honest call either way, because paying it down is a guaranteed 6.5 to 7%, while investing the difference is only a probable 10 that could disappoint. Notice what this does. It throws out the good debt, bad debt bins entirely, and replaces them with one ranked list, ordered by rate, highest first. Attack from the top until you drop below the line. Then stop attacking and start investing. One exception worth naming. If your employer matches retirement contributions, capture that match before anything else. A 50% match is a 50% instant return. It beats even the credit card. After that, the line decides everything. Marcus and David earn the same paycheck. The only difference between their financial lives, the $174,000 gap that opens between them over 30 years, is not income, not intelligence, not luck. It's one number, and which direction it was pointing. Your debt is not good or bad. It is a rate measured against an alternative. And that comparison takes about as long to run as it takes to read the rate off your statement. The people using debt to build wealth aren't working a secret. They checked a number you can check too. Now you know which one. Drop a comment. What's the interest rate on your highest debt? Most people have never looked it up. And if you want to keep running these numbers on every financial decision you make, subscribe. Because the line doesn't care what you bought. It only cares which side you're standing on.